Hi, my name is Jarrett Hartman. I'm with SMB Bookkeeping based in Orlando, Florida. I wanted to record a video today for some important changes that the IRS recently released. IRS tax changes for 2026 to include changes to standard deductions, income tax brackets, capital gains tax brackets, and I'll include some important information for anyone who may be investing in gold and silver. Okay, to jump right into some of the changes for 2026, the standard deductions for single taxpayers, for example, will be $16,100. For taxpayers filing jointly will be $32,200. And for taxpayers filing head of household, the standard deduction for 2026 will be $24,150. And that will be the deduction taxpayers are able to reduce their taxable income by. Also, taxpayers 65 and older or blind will receive an additional $2,050 for single taxpayers and an additional $1,650 for married filing jointly taxpayers per taxpayer for qualifying taxpayers. In addition, one of the primary changes for the BBB, Big Beautiful Bill, in the current year, seniors will receive a $6,000 deduction for single taxpayers and $12,000 for married taxpayers. And again, that will be for each qualified taxpayer. The phase out for the seniors deduction will begin at $75,000 for single taxpayers and $150,000 for married taxpayers. And moving along, the marginal tax brackets for 2026 for single taxpayers with taxable income between $0 and $12,400. The marginal tax bracket is 10%. For taxpayers filing single with taxable income between $12,401 and $50,400, the marginal tax bracket is 12%. For single taxpayers with taxable income between $50,401 and $105,700, the marginal tax bracket is 22%. And you can pause the video there and review the additional tax brackets for 2026, with the top rate remaining at 37%. Moving along, for married filing jointly taxpayers, the marginal tax brackets for 2026 for taxpayers married filing jointly with taxable income between $0 and $24,800, the marginal tax bracket is 10%. For married filing jointly taxpayers with taxable income between $24,801 and $100,800, the marginal tax bracket is 12%. For married filing jointly taxpayers with taxable income between $100,801 $211,400, the marginal tax bracket is 22%. And again, that top rate for 2026 does remain at 37%. And moving along to capital gains rates. For long-term capital gains, these are capital assets that are held longer than 12 months, greater than 1 year, and sold or disposed of after that 1 year time frame. So I am a licensed tax professional. I do own a national tax firm based in Orlando, Florida. However, this information is publicly available and should not be considered tax advice. The general definition for capital assets are almost everything you own and use for personal or investment purposes is a capital asset. Examples of capital assets include a home, personal use items like household furnishings, and stocks or bonds held as investments. When you sell a capital asset, the difference between the adjusted basis and the asset and the amount you realized from the sale is a capital gain or capital loss. For 2026, the long-term capital gains rates for single taxpayers with capital gains between $0 and $49,450 is 0%. For single taxpayers for 2026, the capital gains tax rate for taxpayers with capital gains income between $49,451 and $545,500 is 15%. And for 2016, the highest long-term capital gains tax rate for single taxpayers is 20% for taxpayers with capital gains above $545,501. Also, high-income investors with a modified adjusted gross income For single filers with $200,000 or more in modified adjusted gross income, and for married filing jointly filers with $250,000 or more in modified adjusted gross income, their income may be subject to an additional 3.8% net investment tax. In addition, gold and silver investors, the IRS does treat gold and silver as a collectible. And as a collectible, the highest marginal tax rate is capped at 28%. And again, capital gains rates would not apply to the sale or disposition of collectibles. And moving along, for married filing jointly taxpayers with long-term capital gains, the rate for long-term capital gains above $0 and below $98,900 for married filing jointly taxpayers would be the 0% capital gains rate. For married filing jointly taxpayers with long-term capital gains between $98,901 and $613,700, the long-term capital gains rate would be 15%. For married filing jointly taxpayers with long-term capital gains above $613,701 or higher, the long-term capital gains rate would be 20%. And again, for taxpayers with modified adjusted gross income above $200,000 for single taxpayers, $250,000 for married filing jointly taxpayers, there may be the income may be subject to additional 3.8% net investment income tax. And again, for taxpayers investing in gold and silver, the IRS does treat the investment of gold and silver as a collectible, and it's taxed at the taxpayer's marginal tax rate, capped at 28% for the year. These are some of the key changes in 2026 that will be taking effect, and I hope you found the information helpful. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below with any of your thoughts on some of those changes. In addition, most of the changes in the One Big Beautiful Bill Act that was passed will take effect on January 1, 2026. Some changes are retroactive and could impact your 2025 tax returns that you file in 2026. I'll be making a follow-up video for these topics. Many of the changes have certain requirements, such as adjusted gross income limits, and some are temporary, only lasting for a few years. Changes that might affect the most common 2025 tax returns include no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on car loan interest. And these are some topics I'll be reviewing in follow-up videos. I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, please like the video. That helps to push out into the algorithm. Please subscribe to the channel, and please leave a comment below any thoughts on some of those changes in how they'll be impacting taxpayers in the current year and subsequent years. I did also want to review my website, smb-bookkeeping.com. I do offer individual tax preparation, federal and state, for $199.99 per year. That does include nationwide tax preparation for taxpayers in all 50 states. I do include $1 million of Protection Plus audit and identity theft restoration assistance for $9.99. And I also include e-file and e-signature fee of $3.49. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a nice day.